Hello, I'm just going to be getting ready to start shortly on the hour, and just opening the space now, giving people a chance to have notifications pop up and to land, and now might be a good time to get a pen and notepad if you feel that that would support your process for journaling or just taking notes. And you might want to grab some water or a hot drink. I've got my flask here. So the space is open. I'm just gonna grab a few bits and we'll be getting ready to start soon. I'm gonna leave you with this flame. Feel free to drop a message and say hello as well, just to let me be sure that the chat thread is working okay. Hi, is it Enrica? Is that how you say your name? Hi. Cool. Yeah, just take a few minutes to land and get anything you need, like a drink or anything, and I will be with you guys in a moment. Cool, so just as well, checking in that the sound quality is okay and that everyone can hear me clearly. I'll explain why I've got stuff all over my face in a minute. And I'm just gonna keep the time on in the background to keep me right. Cool. So yeah, I can see that you guys are slowly landing and coming in. So just give yourselves a few minutes to settle into the space. And I'm just gonna light some sage. And yeah, okay, so the war paint is on, the Aries war paint. I just was feeling very strongly called today to actually build a fire outside, and I was feeling a little bit nervous about that because it's very windy today. There's really strong north winds and the ground is really, really dry, so I didn't want to be responsible for causing a forest fire, but I did go out about an hour ago and just made a very, very small fire outside. Just wanted to connect with that energy in a very physical way and tangible way before dropping into the space today to talk about that very subject. And I kind of took the notion as the embers were dying down. I had a flask with me with water in it, and I was like, oh, I feel like I really want to make some paint out the ashes. So I mixed that together, and hence the markings on the face. So yeah, I just felt like that was the playful Aries spirit that really wanted to come through, which is really appropriate for today's PLAYshop as opposed to workshop. So I just wanted to say thanks to Tony, who I know she's not live online right now, but we were chatting yesterday and I was like, I'm really excited about dropping into the space here and just being able to connect in this way, especially at this time when we are spending a great deal of our time online, but it's incredible that we can do this and that we can hold space in this way. So I'm grateful for that and the opportunity to come and connect with you guys. So like, feel free to chip in the comments thread as we go through. If there are any questions, any things that are coming up for you, if I can't address them in that moment, I will do my very best to work through those. Work through those later on this evening, because it's evening time for me just now. And yeah, so I think really it's opening the space at this stage, and I'm just feel like we need some Palo Santo as well. Let's have all of the possible flames going here. So feel free, if you have an altar beside you right now and you'd like to connect into the space in that way, you're very welcome to light some incense or sage if you want to clear your space. I'm just really opening now. This is a circle for us to journey through together for the next hour, and really inviting a quality of safety and openness for dialogue. So yeah, I have a few things that I want to cover, but I'm really open to engagement and questions as well. So feel free to do that, and don't feel like it's not the kind of space where you can't contribute. That's really important. And so I'm just gonna bring my focus and attention into really what I feel to be the hearth, and let's invite the candle in as well. So we're just now on this transitional period moving into Aries season, which the sun sign of fire, direction, new beginnings, intention. So now might be a good time for you at your end, wherever you are, even if you're on the go somewhere, just to take a second to come in to the core space, into your hearth, into your seat of power, your throne, and just sit with that for a second and allow a little bit of space to be available for any inspirations or intentions that you kind of want to bring into this next hour that we have together, because this is your time and I'm purely holding space and facilitating that for you to explore in a way that's hopefully fun and playful, and opens up some inspiration for you too. So just giving yourself a second to meet yourself where you are and to honour that, and that's really important that you honour where you are, even if you're not feeling fully invigorated or sparked by the Aries fire yet. Don't worry, we're just at the beginning of spring, and it's also the spring equinox in my part of the world, at least. So I'm also giving nod and celebration to that. So there's a lot of balancing and realignment energies that I'm feeling at this time. So that's also something that I'm inviting into the space too. So yes, let's get going. My name is Lise, for those of you that don't know me. And yeah, Tony and I were connected through the Angel Alchemy Academy, which was a really nourishing space to be in. And that's given me a huge space to grow and evolve from there. But my area of work is holistic voice work. And that is really centered around my own creative practice, which is important to mention because we're going to be trying to tap into that aspect of ourselves a little bit later on during our time together, of live performance and production and making music, and that's really how I like to express my fire and to channel that energy. But I also hold space for others to explore that as well. And my understanding or framework of the holistic perspective is looking at the voice through the lenses of psychology, like our headspace, our mind, psychological, physiological, the body, emotional, spiritual and social elements. So all of those together, I have called the 5 elements of voice work. Hi, Laurie. And those elements I have bridged or related to the Chinese philosophical framework, which gives nod to wood, metal, water, earth, and of course fire. So fire is what I would like to focus on today, given that we're in this Aries energy, and that is all about our creative expression, communicating really our identity through play, through exploration. So that's really the quality that I want to emphasize, is that it's play. So in any of the exercises or prompts that we move through, really be kind to yourself and see it as a possible opportunity to communicate with your inner child on a deeper level, and invite the possibility of like, oh, like this, come on, like this is really cool. Do you want to try this? And like coaxing yourself into that space where there are no strict rules or frameworks that are going to impose things in terms of feeling that you're limited, or that you have to do it a certain way, or that there's only one way to do it, or the right way. And because all of these things start to invade around our fire. So it's like, what are we feeding our fire with? What are we nourishing that internal creative space with? Moon in Aries. I'm really curious about Moon in Aries because I know Tony is a Moon in Aries too. So the emotions and fiery emotions, absolutely. So how things are gonna flow, I think, over the next wee while is just a little bit of discussion, and then I'm gonna invite you guys to explore some root ways into outlets to channel our creative fire, and then closing with a brief meditation towards the end, just to kind of gather in all that we have learned, and we can make an offering to the fire as well, in a metaphorical sense, or maybe even a physical one. Tony did say, should we bring a cauldron? If you happen to have tools like that around you available, and you feel as you're going through that there are some things that you want to release or to put into that space as an offering, or maybe something that you want to do later on after our time together, then bear that in mind, because there's something very powerful about an energy exchange, and something as simple as writing down something that you're ready to release, transform, let go of, alchemy, all these words that are kind of triggered when we think of this element and its qualities and capabilities. So that's just something to keep in the back of your minds. Hello. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for interacting and some real-time feedback. It's nice to have. So, Moon in Virgo. Cool. Yes. See, all this verging into the realms of astrology on a deeper level is something that I'm super interested to continue developing, because it's not my like strongest area. I have like that fire energy of creativity, wants to go whoosh and flow and explore and expand and spark off into other directions. So astrology is the perfect realm for that, actually. But I'm really happy to be learning as I go, and Tony's holding a really cool space for exploring that. So yeah. So yes, fire. Let's bring in some of these qualities. This flowing energy, spark. Even got the flames on. So yeah, there's definitely a masculine quality to fire in terms of dynamism and action, and maybe even some qualities that are thought of as being more challenging, aggression, for example. And I feel that there are aspects of that I relate to very, very strongly. Maybe the same for some of you, in terms of something fires you up, something gets you going or stimulates you, and you feel like, okay, I have to go. And this for me really is representative of that Aries dynamism as well, of the ram, the horns, like the antenna pushing out to try and scout for new ground, for new opportunities, and being really like striking forward in that sense, with the cusp of the springtime too. But the feminine qualities of fire, I think we only have to look at the flame to appreciate that and acknowledge that as an element it still has this balance of yin and yang, and the way that it dances and moves, and the kind of qualities of like the serpentine energy and how it flows, and the mystery of fire too. So it's one of these endlessly interesting elements, I think, because of the fact that there are opportunities for you to work with it as a tool, to even create tools with it. There's that process of alchemy or blacksmithing, to transform metal into something new, and the metaphor in terms of how we can take that quality of that energy and inject that into our own creative play spaces, whether it's with writing, drawing, painting, music. It's like songwriting or using improvisation as a tool for me becomes an outlet of, okay, I have this heightened emotional energy, say, which doesn't always have to be fiery, but it very, very often is. And that can be, on a spectrum of intensity, but giving that an outlet within a creative framework to actually take its course, and to either have a point where it will naturally subside, or a point that it sparks off into something else and stimulates a whole other realm of exploration, or like new depths to which you can actually think about a concept or explore it, or just that the smoke and all of the waste product, if you like, of what has been put into that also has a wisdom, and also has offerings to bring you. So let me just take a second to catch up with the comments here. Outlander. Yes. Husband uses flame to create wine glasses, goblets, and art. Wow, that is fascinating. Yeah, see, yeah, glass work is something that looks amazing, but also slightly terrifying as well, like doing all the blowing. But that's really, really cool. And actually, smithing is something that I've been really interested in for a while, but haven't had the opportunity yet. I was on the cusp of visiting two people that had a forge to make like bells and small singing bowls out of copper. So yeah, that's on the list for sure. And yeah, yeah, cool. I think we should get stuck into a little exercise, so that I'm not just talking at you guys. So yeah, you don't need particularly any special bits and bobs, but you might want to take a pen or some paints or something you can write with. And I just want to give you guys a framework for like a free flow exercise. And I'm not going to prescribe to you like through, what channel you express it. But I'm just going to invite you to sit with this sensation for a moment of finding this quality of spark. So you can just use your mind's eye to scan, and you might feel that you're drawn to a certain area of the body, or you might find that it's more of a cerebral energy. Just give yourself a moment to connect with this feeling of a spark. It could be an idea, it could be an impulse, an intention. It's just like a little flicker, kind of an energetic pulse somewhere. And just be in a space of observing that from a distance for a moment, just until you feel that it's safe to come a little closer to examine that, and maybe ask whether it is willing to connect with you, is willing to be expressed through some free flow for about 5 minutes. And whatever the answer is, just go with that. If the answer at this time is some resistance or saying no, that is a clear communication. So just give your honor wherever you're at, because the space that you're in right now might just be that you want to spend 5 minutes connecting with that quality or sensation, and just cultivating that. Or if you feel kind of like a bit more excited and that you have something that you want to express based on this sensation that you're possibly tapping into, I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to go and play. And I'd really love to get some response after 5 minutes, just to hear, see, feel into what emerged, and let your imagination take you wherever you're going to go. Are you using your hands, your feet, the space, the table? Yeah. So 5 minutes, go. I'm going to do the same, and let's check in again. And yeah, if anyone is really struggling, drop a message, and I'll try and respond to you. So we've got about 2.5 minutes left. Don't worry, we're going to have longer to do more later, but just for now, a couple minutes. About a minute. Okay, so just bring that activity, whatever you were doing, to a close. I actually almost went to drink that candle instead of my cup of tea. So yeah, I'm gonna check in with you guys, and I'd love to know what you were doing. Because this is not a Zoom call, it was even more mysterious, because I'm trying to imagine in my mind what everyone, you know, in their little screen box is doing. Perhaps you were drawing or painting or moving around the space. Perhaps you were making some sound using your voice. I picked up a bit of Palo Santo, and I remember the first time that I did this, and I decided to draw with it because my pen had run out, and I actually loved the sensation of, like, I've used charcoal before, but there was something really nice about knowing that it was had been used in ceremony and ritual, and that smell, and able to mark the page with that. So I just did a little doodle of a kind of a heart flame, and it seems like this is some sort of an eye. So nothing too profound, but I just was enjoying interacting with the charcoal there, and kind of playing with it on the page. And yeah, so I'm curious to if anybody feels that they want to share anything. I know we can't show each other right now, but obviously you're welcome in the thread or in the group later on if you've got any art or words that have come out of the space that we're in today that you want to share, and that you feel safe to do that. Then it would be really great to see all of your expressions. But yeah, I also wanted just to do a really quick exercise just to kind of feel into how that is for people to have a little activity to go off and spend like 10 minutes or so and do, and come back and check in. So let me know if that process is working for you, and then we can move into like a longer exercise, and I can give you guys some more prompts as you go along. Jane, what are you saying? I drew the whammy shape and called it a teardrop, then got the phrase "the teardrop explodes." Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's really cool. Sonia, wait, you've got a longer message. Just relax meditation. I saw a watermelon striped scene planing or planting? Planing in rich soil, called to begin painting practice for equinox, but also told some of the stripes won't be revealed until the plant blooms in fall harvest. Ooh, that's really interesting and potent as well, given that this is really a great day to be planting seeds, literally and metaphorically speaking. Enrico, what are you saying? I drew a circle and then a path that is not straight, and then me sitting on the right of the path in a sitting meditation pose, and a heart on my root chakra. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, that sounds like you really connected to that, the flame in a potent place there. Hey, Natalie. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome to drop in later on the replay, or feel free to jump in if you want just now. You're very welcome. What are you saying, Lisa? I had messages and visual of the seeds now growing and blossoming, and flowers blossoming in different stages. Oh, God, these are all making me feel all squishy and nice inside. Lovely. Cool. There were also explosions of fireworks and sparkles. Yes. Excellent. I actually, earlier on, I considered putting this effect on because I was like, oh, it looks like embers. And I was like, I'm not going to do that because it's going to be really, really annoying if I just have that on. But there we go. There's some sparkles. I wonder if there's any more sparkles. Oh. Right, that's enough sparkles from me. Kathy, what are you saying? Painting colour and wandering and 3 birds. I believe very flighty and yet nothing solid, light and wispy. That's really nice. Yeah, interesting that there's 3 as well. Maybe something to think about the three realms. Light and wispy, and that's making me think of smoke from the fire. Oh, that's really cool. Thanks everyone for sharing your spark. So I want to go a little to deepen that practice a little bit. So again, in whatever way feels comfortable for you, we're connecting now, not just with the spark, but a flame now. There's a bit more solidity and consistency to this next phase, and we're going to spend a little bit longer on an exercise. So in whatever way feels appropriate to you, connecting with the flame, that could be very literal, and just doing a little bit of flame gazing for a moment if you happen to have access to a candle or fire. Or we can do this gaze inwardly and coming into, let's think of the solar plexus, that region. We've kind of moved from that impulse and spark, and now we're feeling into the dance and movement of the flame within us. How does that want to be expressed? Is it willing to play? Does it feel safe to play with it? Maybe we need to ask if we can approach and maybe tentatively reach out a hand towards it and see how that feels. Is it aggressive and searing and too hot? Maybe we need to take a step back. Or maybe it's comforting and warm, and that there's a playful quality there. So wherever you feel you might be on that spectrum, it's all good. It's all allowed, and it's all authentic to you, and just being open to communicating with that space. And now I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes of time to play. And again, I want to leave the interpretation of this up to you in a very open way. But the dance of the flame, the dance of your flame, expressed through some form of movement. And I don't want to give you too much more than that, movement. Because there's different channels that you can express movement through. So use the next 10 minutes to explore that. And I'm just going to set a little timer just now, and I'm going to drop in and out of the space and maybe give you some prompts and possible route ways into that as we go through. But, feel free to turn the volume down for a second. Just take that time for you if you need to be quiet and just meditate on the flame for a little bit, or even do some candle gazing. Yes, and yes, have fun playing. I'll see you guys in 10 minutes. So for those of you that have a page in front of you, is it possible for your pen to be making contact with the page for a full 10 minutes? Is it possible to be in a flow, a flickering flow with the pen teasing the page? And if you're not sure how to begin to prompt that writing process, maybe you can start with a word that describes the quality of this dancing flame of yours. Is it flickering, flitting, wiggling? Start yourself off with a word or an image and let things flow from there. Maybe some of you are using the space that you have to explore this dancing flame. Maybe you're moving and allowing yourself to experiment with sensations, intentions, communicating those through your body. Embodying the flame. How is your flame dancing? Maybe you are exploring movement through a quality of breath. Maybe you are experiencing the inhalation and exhalation of breath as a relationship of heat and humidity. Maybe you're channeling your dancing flame through the way that you're allowing and giving space to the body to breathe. Maybe you are vocalizing, bringing some sound quality to the breath. Perhaps you're mixing together different mediums with movement, with sound, with breath. using it as a way to release or to create. Fiery breaths. Maybe you're sounding out these flickers of inspiration and ideas within you. Maybe it's coming to you as lists of words to write down, or as images to draw or paint upon the page. Or perhaps your hands are your creative tools and you are moulding and feeling and shaping something, or folding, rolling, crunching. Allowing the hands to dance and flicker and create and be an extension of your flame, your creative essence. So we've got a few minutes left. I'm just going to be quiet and give you guys that space. So just getting ready to bring your activity to a gentle close. Just take a moment to finish and to come back into the space and think about whether there's something that you would like to share from that process. Okay. So I felt that we kind of went a layer in there. Time seemed to kind of go still for a moment. I was as I was speaking there, I was thinking about this scarf, which I love, and how I really like to to move and dance with it, because it's like having a flame. And I was thinking it would be great to get some means of tying it around the wrists so that you don't have to worry about dropping it, but there's something really satisfying about the way that the material moves, that just and the colour, which that's something to explore perhaps later on when we finish, is to have some music and some kind of scarf or shawl, just give yourself a chance to explore that. That's what I was that was what I was wanting to do. So yeah, please, again, I would really love to read anything if anybody has anything they want to share from that process. Or as it was put, I did a retreat the other week, and they were calling it harvesting. Does anyone have anything to harvest from their activity? And I really liked that idea, Lisa. It was wonderful. Breath of essence, power, flow, movement, beauty, newness, swirling, dragon breath, dance of creation, cleansing, purification, birthing, sensual, fluid. Ooh, that's a rather juicy list. Feeling all of those things. Thank you. Dragon breath. Yes. I'm drinking ginger and cloves and honey. And yeah, it's giving me some sort of sensation of dragon breath. So I know what you mean. Yeah, they're very nice words to muse on, actually, and they stimulate for me lots of new sparks in other directions, like, you know, oh, I want to draw with that or move to that or make a sound to express that. So that's amazing. Natalie, dance with the fire of earth. Ooh, the phoenix is with me these days. Yeah, oh wow. Dance with the fire of earth. I love that. And yeah, I actually was looking at the ground earlier, which is very iron rich here. And it's like bright red, like literally red. And I was just looking at the ground thinking this ground is fire. Yeah. And it is literally everything at the moment with the seasonal shift is in a state of bursting, exploding. The gorse bushes today were like fat, plump, juicy, and the ground is full of flame. Everything is in that active space of like reaching out and tendrils connecting. So absolutely, Kathy. My word was freedom. Then rippling freedom. I love it. Then rippling colours like your dance and flying away beyond the stars and ever. Oh, yeah. Wow. For me, visualising that is just like this wonderful flame weaving together and casting out messages and wishes on the wind. And yeah, there's something amazing about an outside fire when the sparks go up and the stars are out, and you feel like that there's a connection between the two there. Yeah, wow, really powerful stuff, guys. Thank you so much for sharing your unique expressions of that kind of the fire energy. Yeah, lots of really rich, hopeful, amazing stuff there. Let's look at the time. So yeah, like let's with those exercises, of course, you can focus on a particular area, like dance, movement, sounding. The sounding element is a wonderful one to explore, and I wish we had some more time. That can be an opportunity for something at another time, but I kind of wanted to broadly go into multiple realms of fire, and if you feel that sound is really important for you in this space just now, then I would invite you to take the opportunity during this last little bit of meditation that I'm going to hold space for us to move through, and yeah, if using your voice feels comfortable for you, then you're welcome to do that. My word is surrender. That kind of segues nicely into this meditation that I want to share with you guys, which is, like we're connecting with our fire, and we are making an inquiry as to whether there is something that we want to offer to the fire, to make an exchange, or to release. So maybe something's already come up for you as we've moved through these exercises, but you're going to have an opportunity to tap into that just now if you haven't already. So I would just invite you, wherever you are in your space, to make yourself comfortable. You can be cross-legged, you can be lying down, feet on the floor, just nice neutral position, making sure that you're relaxed, preferably that you're not going to be disturbed for 15 minutes. And so you might want to soften your gaze or focus, and maybe even close the eyes. And you can bring your hands together, have them resting on your knees, whatever feels good to you. So just settle for a second. We've been activating the fire and playing with it, dancing with it, poking it a little bit, and now it's time to just come into a space of listening. Let the fire breathe for a minute, let it have some space to settle without any agitation, without us adding fuel and ideas, just letting it be for a second, see where it is and where it wants to go and what it wants to do. It's in that space of allowing that we can really feel into, like, is this offering me what I need? Am I able to receive the benefits of this fire, the nourishment, the heat, the sustaining qualities, the opportunities that it gives me to create and transform? Or is it overbearing, and is it taking over, out of control? So softening your breathing as well, just doing this by bringing focus to your inhalation gently through the nose, and then exhalation gently through the mouth, and just continuing to cycle through your in and out breaths in a nice and relaxed way. There's no need to push or to try and take a big deep breath, just going naturally with what your body is allowing and asking you for. Just being aware sensitive to your needs. So I'd like to invite you to move your awareness into the heart space. And thinking about this space as potentially a dense area of vegetation, a garden. Maybe it's a wild wood. Take a second to familiarise yourself with your surroundings. What plants are there? What trees are there? Maybe there are hanging vines. It's breathing into the heart space. Now, as it's spring, we're inviting a little opportunity for some energetic spring cleaning, and we can see that there are some areas of vegetation that are quite dense. Maybe these areas represent certain items or objects in your tangible physical space that you might be ready to let go of. Maybe these areas of dense vegetation represent the tiredness of winter that's not quite left your system yet, that you feel you want to sweep away as we move forward into another seasonal shift. Perhaps the dense vegetation is representative of some emotional stuff there. Maybe there are some things that you're ready to soften your grip on. Or maybe we are giving some more space to the mind to have more room to think and to process and to dream and to create. So once we've established what it is we're inviting, some just very gentle clearing, maybe gardening. Here in the Portuguese countryside, the wild landscape is tended to very carefully to prevent the risk of wildfires spreading and getting out of control. So what can we tend to and offer to our fire for some release and transformation, to ensure that we have an outlet and that we have some space to cultivate what we really want to grow and what we really want to nourish. So that things don't become overwhelming and that we can manage tasks with commitment and passion. So once you have decided what you would like to bring with you to make an offering to the fire, just gather that up. Maybe you've got a wheelbarrow, maybe you've got a rucksack, maybe a bit of string that you're bundling together, bits of vegetation. Just bringing this now, moving down from the heart space, through a clearing, emerging into the solar plexus. And as come to the solar plexus, you see that there are other people also gathering, bringing bundles from all directions. Friends, family, neighbours have all come to this sacred space to make an offering to the fire, clearing the land, clearing the mind, clearing the body, clearing the soul, in preparation for what lies ahead, making room for new growth. And you all acknowledge each other and give thanks to the space. And one by one, in turn, each person is given a moment to do what they need to do, say what they need to say, and throw their bundle into the fire. And there's an observation of the quality of what goes onto the fire and how the material burns, where the sparks go. Does it create lots of smoke? And now it's your turn. So in your own way, releasing what you would like to offer to the fire, with the knowledge that with this exchange, there will be space given for new possibilities to be born anew from the ash. And watching the smoke drift up to the heavens, carrying any messages, wishes, or prayers that you have. Watching the sparks allow other bits of tinder to take full flame, being reassured that your creative expression is important and inspires others. And then looking at the charcoal and ash and being reassured that any trials by fire that you go through are not in vain, because you have new nutrients to nourish and support new life. And just gently, slowly moving away from the heat of the fire now, coming back, moving up, back into the heart space. You might want to bring your hands to the heart space for a moment, just to give thanks to yourself for allowing that process. Just gathering your breath, nice and gentle. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, a couple more breaths. Feel free to vocalize or make a sound on the release of your out-breath, a sigh. And then you might want to rub the hands together just to get a little bit of heat and energy going. Give them a shake and just pressing them gently against the eyes. Bringing yourself back into the room, into the space. And just slowly coming in. And I want to be able to touch base and check in with you guys before closing things down. I'd love to know if any of you have any images or anything that you feel that you're called to share from that process. Yeah. Jane. I've got a development of the initial lines I drew in the first 5 minutes that's like a yogi embracing the flame. Within the flame, lost my connection. I don't know if you mean lost your connection to the image or lost your connection to the feed, but yeah, thank you for sharing that. Natalie, cool. Lisa. A fire around storage time, the basic Mother Earth holding it, the universe watching down, connecting together at the fire. Simplicity, embrace, celebrate, meeting within our hearts, ease. Essence, the fire within, acknowledge, accept, receive as you let go. Spiral of energy coming in like DNA from Mother Earth to Creator. So wonderful. And affirmations. Very powerful. Thank you. Bon appetit. Sonia, thank you. I felt her circle. I offered regret to the fire for release. Regret. That's lovely. Thank you for sharing that. Enrica. Wow, in the circle I put in names that came to me. Bay leaf, fresh, long grass, moss. Affirmations. That's really nice. Bay leaf, I'm like getting that smell, bay leaf, instantly thinking of that, and like moss, yeah. Yeah, that's really lovely stuff, guys. Thank you for participating and thank you for sharing in that process. So we are coming to a close, but it's been a bit of a, you want to bathe in it. Yeah, bathe in yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, maybe some internal fire is calling. I recommend hot ginger and cloves. Lisa, offered chords and residuals from the past for manifestation and new beginnings. That's really nice to weave in those threads. Yeah. Internet connection. Cool. Jane, well, feel free to connect in again later on, get the full shebang and let us know how that was for you. Kathy, I see and feel the fire as there are new beginnings for me as I begin my 80th year. Congratulations. And that lovely fire is stimulating me into new beginnings. That's lovely. My dad turned 80 at the end of last year, so yeah, it's an interesting age, I think. A bay leaf bath. Oh, wow. That sounds fabulous. Cool. Oh, I might do that. There's a big bay leaf tree outside. You've inspired. So, yeah, thank you everyone for participating in that so fully. I feel everyone came along for a journey with fire there, which was really lovely to hold space for. And I'm just sending blessings to you all as we're fully taking flight, I would say. Some phoenix rebirth amongst other fire metaphors sending us forward. So sending you all really lots of love and blessings. And in regards to interacting with my work on other levels through other mediums, I suppose, you are welcome to do that by visiting. There's a Facebook page called True Voice Creations, which just kind of is a central point for bits and bobs on there. I believe Tony might be sending a little link out with my web address, which I'll drop in here anyway, just for ease. And on the website there are a variety of resources available, some free resources, some an online library which is currently evolving and being populated with content kind of over and over. So you'll be able to explore that and find different things on there, and the kind of emphasis of that is really around voice work, but yes, voice is expressed in many different ways, not just through sounding. So I hope that you've enjoyed exploring some layers of vocal fire in this particular context. If you have any questions, anything coming up for you that was stimulated by this process that you kind of want to check in with, then I'm very open to receiving messages for the rest of today, and to kind of follow up anything that you might want to touch base with. So closing the space down, giving thanks to that circle and the protective flame that we've all been tapping into. So yes, much love and blessings to you too. Happy equinox. And take care and see you soon.